Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of y'all, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button, of course, because the message is more important than the messenger. I'll go ahead and say it, put it out there right quick. You're looking at the title and you're probably wondering, well, what does he mean, we're common? And that's not an insult. But when you look at the word common, you are probably thinking about the adjective starting with a lowercase c, unless it's the beginning of a new sentence. I'm talking about common with a capital C as the name of the entertainer, Tiffany Haddish's ex. Now you'll understand the double entendre, the dual understanding that was intended. When I say you were common, let's look at what common is not. Common is not a serial baby daddy philanderer, irresponsible deadbeat, stick-up kid, jailbird, Pookie. I mean, he could play that, I'm sure, in a movie, but that's not who he actually is. Matter of fact, he can hardly play that. It's not even easy for him to play that role. He's done it. Even then, he had to play a rogue cop that just went in too deep undercover. So in this regard, common is actually quite common. Because the negative stereotype really is not that common amongst us. He's not even the negative stereotype when it comes down to women. The only time we know of him even so much as cheating in a relationship, which is not the same as a marriage anyway, now I'm talking from a religious standpoint, was when he was involved with a celebrity that was, involved with a celebrity that's a Jehovah's Witness, and she wasn't bumping uglies. She believed in chastity, much like we do, and that's fine. But she didn't believe in this stuff, and so what does she do? Well, she holds him to that, despite the fact that he's common, meaning his name, despite the fact that he's not so common a person. You know, he's the uncommon common. He's that high-profile entertainer. Despite that, despite the fact that she knows groupies are going to throw themselves at him, she holds him to that. And she can. She should if she's really consistent about it. But expects him to turn around and keep turning them all away without prioritizing marriage. See, she said we're going to put this off till marriage, but she didn't prioritize marriage. Then turns around, leaves him because he's getting with others. Acts all heartbroken. Because apparently Chris Brown did the same thing. Or was it Chris Brown first? I don't know. I don't even care. Turns around. Gets with Ohanian with 1/9 her wealth. Practices hypogamy despite the upbringing she had, despite her dad telling her what he'd been through and what he knew. She decides, yeah, but you know, I'm a famous athlete in California, so I'm going to be the exception. Finds out very quickly that she's not protected after the marriage. But before that, she done bumped uglies with him and is pregnant by the time they get married. She actually does not understand the depths to which she insulted Chris Brown and Common, and I'm not even taking up for them per se. I'm just saying that that's the training. And that's what a lot of you have been through. A lot of you have seen this happen. You didn't want to say this back in the 90s because everybody was player, right? I know. Even in 2000, everybody was a player. I get it. I remember those days. Nobody wanted to admit that they were treated worse than other men by even the same women. You know, nobody ever wanted to admit that the slut turned him down. I got it. Well, here's the problem. Now we got social media. Not just the internet, but social media. So everybody knows. Oh yeah, everybody knows that some men are being treated worse than others. And she got with a non-protecting, somewhat capable of providing, but not as well as her man, Wyatt. Exactly what her dad told her was the problem. Exactly. And that's who she got with. Not a Filipino. Not a Mexican or a Chicano. Not a Colombian. Not an Indonesian or a Malaysian. Not another man of color. None of that. No, straight to Wyatt. And that's the difference between when black men date or marry out and when sisters decide to swirl. Sisters want to sit up and tell us that everybody else better than us. The only ones they go for are the ones that have been eating our slice of the pie because they took it by force. Or rather, I should say their grandparents took it by force. I'm not going to blame the ones alive today for what someone else did. I get that. But the facts are still the facts of history. Their grandfathers confessed to it. They didn't hide it. They put it in their own history textbooks, which they're now trying to change in some states. But that's what they did. And that's why the grandkids today can eat so further mucking much and spend so further mucking much. Because we can't. We had to do the work and not enjoy the harvest so that they could enjoy the harvest without doing the work. And there was some brother, I wish I could remember his name and what live stream was on, but there was some brother that asked a sister, if you want all the stuff white women have, what group of men do you think we should go out there and oppress and castrate and enslave and whip and beat and break? And from whom we should extract everything and to whom we should give nothing in exchange except torture for not doing more in order to get you the stuff out of this world you want. I wish I could remember who it was and on what live stream. But that's a valid question. I've always wanted to know. You want us to be the same oppressors as Zaddy? Because if that's what you're looking for, you automatically deserve the worst you can get. If you do not care how we get the things that you want, that means you have no morals. And if that's the case, don't sit up and ask us for it. Go out there and get it yourself. You're the one with no morals. You don't care how it's acquired. Then why don't you get it? You're already only respecting and validating the men from whom you don't even demand that they come back with these things. You're willing to connive and con the men you don't want to get the things and then share them with the men you want. You don't mind that. If you can divorce OJ and take half every month, you will spend it on Ron Goldman. And then wonder why OJ or his son shows up in the driveway with a knife. And I'm not justifying it, I'm explaining it. I'm only talking about the murder. Now, here's the funny thing about that. Some of the swirlers are going to say, yeah, but OJ was beating up on her. OJ's black ex-wife said, no, he wasn't like that. Didn't do that to me. Well, if the man's abusive, then he's abusive. I mean, women never say that this abusive man is going to not be abusive to another woman. Women will tell you that. That's not what's going to happen. If he's abusive, he's abusive. That's what they say. So if he wasn't abusive to his black ex, I don't think he was abusive to Nicole Brown Simpson unless there was some evidentiary documents to that effect. And even then, I don't know. I just don't know. But you gentlemen understand that even when you are at this high level, the treatment you're getting from Boom Chic and Bon Quisha, even if she's a celebrity, is the same thing. It is very common. So the irony is that he's taken the name he's taken, and then he's gotten the common treatment. And now, the one that pretty much after saying, you have to have more, you got to give me more to marry me, than what's the norm even for people at our income level and fame level, has ditched him, which is her right to do, which is okay, it's a choice. She has the nerve to turn around later on and ignore the consequences of what she chose, which is to scram. And then say, I'm looking for, yeah, you're looking for too much. It doesn't matter what you say you're looking for too much. I'm looking for someone with whom I can, she got the nerve to list 4 things at her age. That's what I wanted you gentlemen to keep in mind. It's messed up, isn't it? I know, right? So, yeah, gentlemen, sorry about that. And that's the gist of what it is I wanted to tell you. That even these celebrity sisters or ladies dealing with celebrity men are they just feel so entitled to everything with no limits, that they will treat an entertainer like a common man, even common, and they would give another meaning to the phrase, the common treatment. I hope this helps you, gentlemen. Thank you for listening. Black heart, black mind, black out, and now you know why I say black heterosexual non-select male power, just because she don't like in a black patriarchy until extinction or judgment day.